Welcome.
Welcome to the 20 After podcast. I'm Candace.
I'm Julie.
Surprise, surprise. It's episode 3. Looks like we made it.
Look how far we've come, my Candace. I don't know.
I don't know either. So
How's your week been so far?
my week thus far,
Yes, thus far.
I've been tired, but I've been good actually. I get a lot of emails, like junk emails and stuff, where it's always like fall fashions, here we go, and I'm always like, okay, I need a pair of boots this year because I'm constantly made fun of the fact that I wear flats all year round.
Yeah.
Well, I never really thought about it, but they're always like, hey, Candace, it's blizzarding outside and you're wearing flats. And I'm like, but I also want a cute pair of boots. And whenever those junk emails come in, I'm always like, I'm going to look for a pair of boots. And guess what's never on the website that I like?
A pair of boots.
That's exactly right. How did you guess that?
Friend sense.
Friend sense.
It's like Spidey sense, but it's not as cool, to be honest.
I think it's super cool from the heart.
Side story that just reminded me of when I used to work at my old job. Me and my one friend Kaylee, we always used to put in the word fart for songs that were like so heartfelt and had the word heart.
Oh,
so
yeah?
like, of course now I can't think of any, but
What?
oh, come
This is
on,
like the
Julie.
easiest thing too.
I
I can't even think of any.
I don't know, but here's a good one. We also used to change like celebrities' names. So then we would sing like a Demi Lovato song.
Lovato.
Because this is why I said that. We would always be like Demi Lovato and Smelina Gomez. I don't know. We were in our 20s. Like, anyways, sorry.
Are you sure you were in your 20s?
20s, like, yeah, we were in our 20s, but we acted 5. Anyways, back to you. Sorry.
Apologizes for having a story.
Fart jokes still funny in our 20s.
I have some news that I have yet to confirm, but my friend tweeted about it, so I'm assuming it's true.
If it's out in the interverse,
It's automatically true.
It's legit.
And here's why I thought it was spectacular news in particular is because I've been watching a show called Rick and Morty. And
Cool.
There's this one episode about Pluto not being a planet anymore. And there's like this whole thing where they get sucked up to Pluto or whatever, like shipped off to Pluto by the Plutonians because they heard Morty's dad talk to NASA about how Pluto should be a planet again.
Yes.
So Morty's dad goes to Pluto with Morty and starts telling all the Plutonians about how Pluto's a planet and how it's great, but the corporations are like sucking plutonium out, making the planet like smaller and smaller, and that's why it's not a planet anymore.
Oh, okay.
And I just want to say congratulations to Plutonians for stopping that because Pluto is a planet again.
It is?
Apparently,
This is like science news?
according to that tweet that my one friend posted.
Did you check the source on this?
I did not. And I stated that in the beginning.
So newsflash, Pluto might be a planet again.
I don't check my facts, but I do remember things my friends tweet.
So text some of your friends that, but not all of them. That's
Maybe the ones who won't Google it, me.
Yeah, I've made this mistake before where I definitely see news on the internet and then I'm like, oh, hey, everyone, this news. And then they like will text me a couple days later and be like, Julie, I just made a fool of myself because I told people this news. And they were like, no, that's wrong. And I'm like, oh, just kidding. So I started like,
I can't believe you fell for that.
Got you. Also, I got myself.
That's how good I am at getting people.
Yeah. So good week so far. Pluto's a planet.
Probably. Maybe.
Yeah.
Her tweet said, Pluto's a planet again. And I read it in the Oprah Winfrey voice. So
yeah. Everyone gets a whale. Sorry
plutonium for everyone.
What is plutonium? Wait, is that a dumb question?
Do you know what? I'm not the authority on science. So
okay. Do not come to this podcast for science news. I repeat, do not come here for science news.
We might make up a few scientific facts.
We almost definitely will.
There's a planet in the background, so maybe we should know a thing or two about.
Fun fact: there's a picture of Pluto in our background.
Because Pluto is a planet. Planet. I can't read that last part, but
Oh.
I think it says Pluto.
Oh, we're smart.
We just pretend to be funny a lot.
Welcome to the podcast where we pretend to be funny. So
Slogan on slogans. So, me and Julie are pretty awkward adults. That's not news to anybody.
welcome to episode 3, where we tell you the obvious. No, you've probably or figured that out by now.
Yeah, we're very awkward adults.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're in our 20s, and so obviously some things new are happening in our lives, you know, things we never thought we'd do before. Like I don't know, bigger purchases, buying like new wardrobes I was talking about earlier. Probably buying cars. Julie, do you have a story about that? Segue.
Do I ever? This is perfect because we recorded last week's podcast 5 days ago. I think it was 5 days ago. It was only released yesterday. Oh, we're recording this the day after it was released, but you'll only hear this in a week from today.
We're very relevant.
Anyways, I have now bought a car. Last podcast we were talking about how I'm such a procrastinator and I haven't bought a car yet, and I've been talking about it for months. And officially now I can say, hey, it's signed, sealed, and almost delivered. I've bought a car.
But for now, you're still driving.
Oh, my good old 2003 Pontiac Sunfire, which is conveniently named Little Black Barack the Pontiac. Wait, I said that wrong. That's the worst. The past,
Awkward adult podcast.
I've owned this car for 4 years. I think. No, 3. 2.
Well, like your brother owned it before you did, right?
No, he just drove it. My parents owned it before. My parents bought it like brand new. And then in 2003.
So in 2003, your parents bought this car, and now you and your brother drove it when he was like learning to drive.
Well, we all learned on it, but then they bought a new car a couple of years ago and sold it to me.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's been mine. And I named it Lil Black Barack the Pontiac
Okay.
because it was so cool that Lil got like shortened.
Mm.
So anyways, I just needed to point that out because like since I owned it, I was always like, it's Lil Black Barack, and people are like, oh, Little Black Barack, and I'm like, no, Lil, get it right. Get it right, or get it tight.
Lil.
Yeah, apostrophe.
Sorry.
Anyways, the problem though, I can't think of a new name for my new one. It's I'm getting a Chevy Cruze, and there's been lots of names thrown around. My mom came up with one that I haven't stopped laughing about. She said I should call it the Schmooze Cruiser.
Why?
Because I don't know. Because then I will
you schmooze and cruise.
Because you schmooze and cruise. You will like schmooze people.
You schmooze your cruise.
I don't know. That one made me laugh. But I haven't thought of a good like Lil Black Barack the Pontiac was so strong because it rhymed and it was like relevant.
Yeah, that's true. When you did get it, that was pretty relevant back then.
Yeah.
That was a while ago though.
Yeah.
So you're into a new era of your life, you'd say, buying this car, eh?
I would say it's forced me into adulthood.
I would say I'm completely uncomfortable with this situation.
I would say I had to be dragged there every time. Yeah. So this is the thing. When you buy a car, we were kind of thinking that we would go through what it takes to buy a car, like share that with you, because this is the 20 After podcast, and that's something that you sometimes have to do when you're after 20.
Yeah, sometimes if you feel like driving. I mean, my sister doesn't drive at all, but I drive. Mm-hmm. And like I'm going to have to buy a new car, but I'm literally waiting for my car to become like
dust.
just
Dust in the wind.
Just crumble around me. That's what I'm waiting. That's when I'm going to buy a new car.
Yeah.
Because but so far it's been very good to me, my car. It's a 2002 Pontiac Sunfire, so we're not going to be car sisters anymore. But I mean,
so sad.
I know. I guess I could buy like a Cruze in the future, maybe.
I'll just secretly pray that your car breaks down. What? in a loving way.
In a loving way, because you want my car to break?
Because I want to match.
Well, the thing is that Christopher, my boyfriend, he fixes all that stuff. So like anything that's ever gone wrong with the car, which is usually Candace inflicted. He fixes. Yeah. Like little dings or whatever. I rear-ended some lady like a year ago or whatever, and he fixed my one front quarter panel. Like he ripped it off and replaced it, painted it and everything. And like everything that's ever gone wrong with it, he's fixed. So I'm waiting for something to happen where he literally goes, Candace, it'd just be better if you bought a new car. Like this is a lost cause of a car, and that's what I'm waiting for. So I think I could get like 2 or 3 more years out of it because it's been good otherwise. Like it's been very good. You know? Like so like I honestly though I don't drive it that much. I just drive it to work and stuff, and like if my shift starts at 6, I'm leaving at like 7:50, like sorry, 7:50. If my shift starts at 6,
I leave at 7:50.
Hey guys.
Whenever my shift starts, I just leave like a good hour after that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I always leave about like 5 minutes before my shift starts. Like I live so close to work, right?
Yeah.
So I don't drive that often. The only time I really drive any length of distance, like Christopher always drives to whenever we're hanging out. And so the only time I drive any sort of distance is to get here.
Yeah.
And that's like 3 times a week.
Yeah.
So I've been using up considerably more gas, considering I could go like 2 weeks and I'd be at half a tank.
Yeah. That's
Which
pretty
is
good.
it's been sick.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm putting on a ton of kilometers on it, and I'm always changing my oil on time and
Love it.
Oh yeah, I'm on top of the car thing. I'm a very good vehicle owner. I just hear Christopher like laughing in the background and then crying.
Total disagreement. He loves you though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He totally does. He has to. So yeah, explain your like month-long car buying experience that nobody else drags out for like a month.
Oh, I'm sure some people do. Well, so this is what I went through. I in some ways have to be forced to do adult things though, because it just scares me so much, because I'm like, I just want to be 4 years old again, and like the biggest worry is if I'm gonna get stung by a bee today or not. Wait, oh, sorry for bringing that up. I forgot.
That's my biggest worry every day.
Right. But it's just the worst. I hate having to do adult things. So anyways, like a month or two ago, I decided, actually no, a year ago, I knew I was going to buy a Chevy Cruze at the end of 2014. Yeah. Just because my car was getting old. The engine light has been on for over a year now, but I just never got it fixed because I knew I was going to buy a new one. Didn't want to put money into it anyways. So yeah, a month ago, I was like, all right, a really good deal came out. Like Chevy was like, okay, 0% financing for 84 months for our 2014 stock. And I was like, perfect. This is the right time. And this is when I was planning on it. So excellent. Let's start this. So my parents were right away like, okay, here's your options. Here's what you do. They're guiding me. They're great. They're like, this is how we're going to help you. And they help me in every step, and I would die without them. But they were like, okay, well, you got to shop around. So you have to go to a bunch of different dealerships and ask them to price it out and pick the best one or whatever. So I was like, oh, okay. First of all, I like stopped right there. I was like, okay, not doing it. That's too exhausting.
That's a lot
I
of
just
work.
want to I want to treat it like if I buy an iPhone, if I can do it online, if I can just go in the store, say I'm buying an iPhone, don't have to stay there any longer. That's what I want to do for a car.
You're out.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
That's what like things like planning events and stuff, that stresses me out like so much.
Oh yeah.
Like I know it's going to be fun when all's said and done. Like buying a house. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having a house, but am I looking forward to buying a house?
No.
No. Why can't I be like, hey, I'm ready to buy a house, and somebody just like knock on my door and be like, hey, guess what? This is the house for you. And they literally just show me a house, and I'm like, you're correct. This is the house for me.
Yeah.
Here is money.
Here's my signature. Here's my money. Done.
Yeah.
Like
that's not at all how it works. And you're like,
it beyond stresses me out to do all this stuff. Like I cannot handle it. So anyways, I went to one dealership. I got it priced out, almost died. And then I went to another dealership like 3 or 2 weeks later and almost died. But I got it priced out successfully. And then it was just a matter of, the deal was going to end in a week. This is what happened. And it was the first week back to school, which is also the worst, not worst. It's the busiest week of my work because that's all my programs start that week. So anyways, I was like, no, okay, we're not going to do it because this is the last week of the sale and it just doesn't work out because it's too stressful for my life. And this isn't on the top. Like I need to put my job first. So I was like, nope. And then of course, as soon as that deal ended, a better deal came up and my dad was like, look, it's even better now. Let's go. And I was like, okay, yeah, totally. Let's go.
For sure.
And then I just kept putting it off. And every time there was a chance, I was just like, oh yeah, no, let's go tomorrow.
And the guy from the dealership was like your brother's, like one of his friends, right? So he would like text you like, hey, when you coming down, which is like, to me, that would be even worse, you know?
There was a lot of pressure, and I feel really bad because I didn't end up buying with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I hope he doesn't watch this. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry if you do. I doubt he would. That's a good thing that I'm not that important yet. But because the day after I signed this at a different dealership because I got a better deal at a different dealership.
I'm sure he could respect that though.
Yeah,
He's about the better deals, you know? Like he would probably go somewhere else too if he could save money, you know?
Yeah,
Everybody's out to save a buck because you know what? A buck's a buck.
It's true. That's what my brother told me too. I was like, sorry, I didn't go with your friend. And he was just like, no, that's fine. If it was a better deal somewhere else, I would have done it too. And I was like, oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
but the clencher was the day after I signed at the other dealership. The guy texted me and was like, hey, just wanted to let you know there's still all these great deals on and this and this and this. And I, to be honest, still haven't texted him back because I just don't know how to deal with that. This is another way I don't know how to be an adult, guys. Like, what do I do? I couldn't just straight up be like, sorry, I went to a different dealership because I knew that I would get a text back that was like, I didn't even want to think of what the text back would be.
Do you know what the text back would probably be?
What?
Oh, great to hear that you finally found the car that's right for you. If you ever need anything else, hit me up. And that'd probably be it.
Or maybe like, oh,
it's
too bad you didn't come to me.
It's
guilt.
There's no way it'd be like that is the thing. Like as a professional,
Yeah.
like you can't say like, oh, well, thanks a lot for your lack of support to my career, person I barely am associated with. And it's like as a salesman, I believe that like this is just me personally. Like as a salesman, I believe that like they know the dollar better than most people do because they're constantly selling things.
Yeah.
So they understand the risks associated with having places with better deals. Like I'm sure he doesn't make the deals, but like, sorry, he knows. He's like, yeah, there's deals at other places, and he would probably go somewhere else rather than you two if he could find some place.
Yeah.
For the same stuff, cheaper.
Yeah, it's true. And this was part of the confusing part for me too, because there were so many voices in my ear that were trying to help me, but they were all really contradictory. Like one person would tell me, oh, it doesn't matter where you go, because all of the like brand name dealerships have to sell like their products at the same price because it's just like it's the head office that makes the price, right? So I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But then somebody else would tell me, no, but it depends on the salesman, because some people like just know more and stuff like that. And
like
I was like,
salespeople can get you deals though that you don't like, depending on their experience level too.
Yeah,
which like is some of them know the ins and outs of like the contract and stuff and the deals you can get associated, right?
It's that's totally true. That's what I found out because at first I was going in it with the one message that people were telling me, which was like, oh, it's going to be one price, but then that's not how it ended up. So yeah, that's the learning experience here. It does pay to shop around, which is the hardest thing to hear because I'm sure if you're like me and Candace, that will just stress you out more because you have to go to more places. And yeah, and now like
you just want to get it over with. It's like, I made the decision. Now make it happen for me.
Yeah,
like,
the worst part was deciding to put all this cash down for a car.
Yeah.
So just make the rest of it easy on me. And now I have to I have to go back to pick it up. And I found out that when I go back to pick it up, I have to give them some like sheets and stuff. And then I have to stay there and they're going to tell me how to like all the cool features and stuff. And like,
you're just like, I'll figure it out. Bye.
Just drive it away. Like people in my family already own this car. He can tell me what's up with it. Like, I just want to be done with this place. I don't know. Like it stresses me out.
You just want to
like
like my car was Christopher's first, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't have to go through any of this like car deal sign in business. Yeah. It was just like, okay, Candace, you help me out with this thing and I'll give you my car.
Yeah.
And I helped him out with that thing and he gave me his car. Like the hardest thing for me to do was like get my name on the plates.
Yeah.
And get it. Like I was under my mom's insurance for her car.
Right.
So I was like, his dad has something where his dad's primary in his car or something like that. I'm not sure. But I was like, hey, Mom, maybe you could be primary on my car and that way my insurance would be cheaper. And she laughed in my face and was like, LOL, nah, girl.
Yeah.
she was like, you're primary on your own vehicle because it's your vehicle. And I was like, okay. But it ended up working out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
for sure.
like
it does.
I'm paying a decent price. I'm fine with everything now.
Mhm.
But the thing is I didn't have to go and shop around.
Yeah.
I got a car that's virtually bulletproof at this point.
Yeah.
Christopher takes way better care of it than I do. If there's a problem, I just call him right up.
Yeah.
Hey, my engine light's on, help. Hey, this is wrong, help. If I hear like the slightest noise, I'm like, Christopher. I'm just I just call him constantly. Not constantly, because my car like doesn't really act out that much.
Yeah.
But if something happens, I'm always like,
Mhm.
I want to fix it right away, because I just like my engine light came on because my gas cap was like old or something. Like it was like,
That's what he keeps saying is wrong with the one that I'm selling right now. Because the engine
Okay.
light's been on for so long. He's like, it's the gas cap. But
have you changed the gas
Well,
cap though?
No, because I didn't want
Because
to
it was
care
the
about
gas
it.
cap
Because I
with
was
mine.
buying a new one.
No, I totally get you on that one. But like it was the gas cap on mine.
Yeah.
And like it gave me such anxiety because I was so used to driving a car that was just perfect and fine. Not perfect, you know what I mean? Like it's not like the most luxurious vehicle. It's a 2002 Sunfire.
Yeah.
But like I was just so used to driving a car that had no problems with it whatsoever. And then all of a sudden there's a light there and it's telling me, hey, I have some sort of issue. And I was like, it could be anything.
Yeah.
It could be the world.
I know. The first time it came on, how did you react?
I was like,
Like, were you driving when it came on?
okay, here's a story.
Okay.
Never fall asleep on the wheel.
Oh, I have a friend who does this.
I did it
Oh, now I have two friends apparently who do this.
one time, and it was super dangerous too. I was on the highway and I was exiting and I just I nicked the wall
Yeah.
while I was exiting, and it just woke me up like, I'm awake. But my whole side of my car wasn't like terribly scratched, but you can still see it a little bit. But
Oh my
it
gosh, Candace.
I know it was a while ago though, and everybody's safe, and it totally rattled me, and I just don't drive that when I'm tired at all now.
Good.
I don't. It scared me so much that because I was always like, that's so stupid. How do people fall asleep at the wheel?
Dun dun dun.
Like it's so easy to do when you're tired is the thing.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do and nobody realizes that. And
No,
like I
yeah.
feel stupid for doing it because I'm the idiot
Oh,
that
don't
did
feel
it.
stupid. No.
No, I don't like it's dangerous. And if you feel tired, like don't drive. I don't care who you're talking to.
Don't do it.
If you have to go home, like it's like tell somebody to drive you. Tell them to take your car in the morning. Walk to work in the morning. I don't care what you have to do, but like don't drive tired because it's
I have
super
a question
dangerous.
about that. Oh,
But
sorry.
Hold up a second.
Yeah, yeah. No. Continue.
So anyway, I nicked the wall and it messed up my bearing, and so my car was making this like woo 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 sound because my like wheel was like wobbly or whatever.
Yeah.
So Christopher fixed that later, but while that was broken, my engine light turned on like 2 weeks later. So I was like,
okay.
oh no, and so I was like in panic mode because my car is making this sound. And I don't know why.
Right.
And now my engine light's on and it's like listing a little bit to the left. Needless to say, everything is fixed now, but like my bearing was totally messed up, and like the rim for my wheel was like warped or whatever. So they had to like replace the rim.
Oh, okay.
It didn't cost me much, but like the damage was like weird. It was wonky damage, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Ugh." So yeah, I'm very disappointed in myself. Never drive asleep. What's your question?
While you were when you fell asleep, like you obviously knew you were tired when you got in the car and were driving.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do anything to like combat that? Like, did you blast music or anything?
I should have blasted music, but I thought that I would stay awake. But I was like, I think I like rolled my window down.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Okay.
I should have blasted music though. I feel like I was so dumb about it.
Well,
But I literally kept dozing, and I was like while I was driving, and I was like, this is super dangerous, but like I had to go home.
yeah. No,
And
I
I was
get the
like, you
feeling.
put yourself in like this stupid situation and just not worth it. Just not at all worth
Yeah.
it. Anyway, so that's my embarrassing Candace inflicts injuries on her car story.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only two things I've ever done though. So I rear-ended that one lady.
Everything else is good. What?
Yeah, remember I told you I rear-ended that one lady?
Yeah.
Early in the podcast, you were there.
That's right. No. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like leaving a parking lot, and I thought I saw her turn right, so I inched forward to look, and while I was looking left to see traffic.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And turns out she hadn't turned right. She had just moved up too. So I rear-ended right into her. And I was like, oh, great.
Oh,
And then it was actually like I had to pay for her car, but it wasn't nearly as much as a lot of damage could be. I paid like $700.
oh, that's yeah. Okay.
It wasn't bad at all. Like
you can deal with
considering
that.
like $700 is not bad at all. Considering we got like 4 quotes and a lot of them were like $1,400. Yeah, we went to like this one place in the Falls and they were like, yeah, we can fix it for like $750.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, sweet,
Sold.
sweet. Yeah. Done.
That's good.
Here's my money. And I like texted the lady and I felt so bad too. At least I was like texting her like, okay, you just got to go to this place and it's all paid for and everything. You just got to go and take your car in. And she was like, okay, thank you. And I still have her name and my number and her number in my phone, but I just ignore it at all costs. So I'm like, no.
Bad memories.
Yeah. Bad mojo. I just don't associate myself with that negativity.
I feel
Yeah.
Yeah. So back to buying a car. There's more things that I wanted to warn you guys about. More just like prepare you because it sucks. And I don't know. For me, it's the more I feel prepared and that I know what's coming, the more a little bit the more I worry, but also a little bit more I can prepare myself.
Yeah.
So anyways, when you actually go after all that shopping around and wasting your time,
wasting your time. So shopping around really pays off, but it's also a huge waste of time.
Yeah. So this is how
lessons with Julie.
So when you're good to go, then you go in the office again for one more time, and then they price it out again to finalize everything, and they photocopy like your driver's license and stuff like that. And then you have to go in this meeting with the financial supervisor, and then they try to sell you all these warranties, these extra warranties. Now, this is the part where I had been warned. It's up to you, if obviously at the end of the day. But my family's big into like, don't do it. Don't pay for extra warranty. It's not worth it. Especially when you're buying brand new. I would say, like, my brother just bought a used car and he bought extra warranties for it because he was like, well, it's used. It's obviously going to have more problems just because it's not brand new. But anyways, so I got warned before, like, my dad was like, by the way, when we go in here, they're going to try and sell you all these things. Just say no to everything. I was like, cool, I can handle that.
Can you handle that?
I handled it, but it was so hard. We went in and it turned out that I knew, well, it was the first time we met the lady, but we connected through, like, I knew who her daughter was because her daughter went to the same school I did, but we weren't in the same grade and we never talked. But I was like, okay, I know who that is. And anyways,
yeah. So
we kind of bonded. And then she tried to sell us all these things and I was like, no, that's okay. And then she tried to sell me more and I was like, no. And she's like, are you sure this is? And she like, obviously this is her job, so she has to keep selling. But anyways, I was like, I just said no a lot and I felt so bad. And then like I couldn't say no anymore because
you felt so bad.
I felt so bad. So I kept looking at my parents who were beside me on either side. And like, I would just let them give me like this look. And then I knew that she would see that. So then I'd be like, no, because I felt bad that I was saying it. So I was like, maybe if we all are saying it, I don't know. It's the worst. It's a tough situation.
My parents have my back. So.
Yeah. Listen, these people are older and maturer. Anyways,
it's funny that you say that though, that you knew the girl's mom, because I remember when I was younger, I was like a teenager or whatever, and I really wanted to go to my one friend's party. Mm-hmm. My mom was like, I've never met this girl. I don't know who she is. You can't go to some girl's party if I've never like heard of her or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, no. It'll be fine. We're going to like the insurance agency at this point, right? Because I was supposed to get insured on her car.
Okay.
This is how far back it was. I was just way back in the day. So the lady takes us into her office.
Oh no, is that falling off?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, we can continue talking. I'll fix it.
All right. The lady takes me me and my mom into her office, and me and my mom are like, oh my goodness, like, you can't go to this party or whatever. And I was like, Mom, seriously, it's just like a birthday party. It's fine. It's fine if you don't know her. And I look over and I see this picture on the girl's desk or whatever. And I was like, oh, is this your office? And she was like, oh, no, it's my one associate's office. And I look over and it's the girl whose party I was supposed to be going to. Her picture was on the office, like on like a desk or whatever. I was like, that's her.
That's too
and
funny.
they were like, oh my goodness, yes, that's Sue's daughter. She's like super nice. We love her. Oh,
talk
she's
about
so
perfect
great.
timing.
And I know, I was like, this is unreal right now. I was like, that's her. And she was like, oh my goodness, you for sure can go to this party. Oh, now I know who she is. I was like, no, you don't. But I mean, I guess if the insurance lady is telling you she's cool, she is cool though. Like she was super fine. Like,
Yeah.
everything, like it wasn't like one of those crazy, like get drunk parties. It was like, let's hang out. That's it party.
Yeah.
Eat cake and
Ooh,
dance.
all the right words in all the right places.
Eat cake and dance.
If I could do that instead of buy a car every day, I would. I would drive this piece of junk and just eat cake and dance. Yeah. So, anyways, after you say no to all the warranties, then they finally take your information and they're like, okay, this is your credit score. This is everything, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, you sign the paper and then you can finally leave.
You're like, oh, I'm done. And
we
then
were
you
there
can-
for an hour and a half.
You can lay. That's terrible, actually, because like,
Yeah.
all like meetings like that just bum me out, right? Like after really stressful, like, okay, you remember that conference we went to?
Yeah.
That conference we try to forget because it was so agonizingly boring.
We have some funny stories about that we'll tell after.
Oh yeah, we definitely do. I just went home and laid in bed and went on my laptop, and it was like the most like de-stress,
Yeah.
like distress, like anti-stress thing. Like I was so relaxed, and I was like, when you go through like things that you have to like force yourself to be involved in. Not that I wasn't happy I was there with you. You were like my saving grace in that.
Oh yeah. I would
was-
have died alone.
Yeah.
if you weren't there. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying though.
But like when you're there in things that you're like in forced situations, even if they're supposed to be fun things, like when you're invited to go hang out with people and then you're like, yeah, hang out with these people. And then there's like two people that you really like, even if you're not like not friend, like unfriendly or whatever with them, like if you don't know them, you're still like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Cause like you were planning on spending this time with friends that you could be like totally weird about. And like, then there's two people here and you're just like, they don't know that I'm strange.
Yeah.
So you just need to go home and just be by yourself.
Yeah.
I try to describe that because there's like a lot of different types of people in this world, and how I describe it with Christopher, because we're very opposite. I describe it like batteries and how people, lose battery power and how people charge back up,
Yeah.
and how neither experience is like negative. Like people can lose battery power doing things that are like super fun, but then how they recharge is also like very good for them too. So in his case, he loses a lot of energy when he's just doing like working or like just doing like quiet stuff at home, or if he has to do like a lot of like errands or whatever. That's how he like loses like battery power or whatever.
Okay,
and he
yeah.
recharges by hanging out with lots of people.
Oh.
I'm the exact opposite.
Yeah.
I like recharge 100% when I'm alone, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I have to be like relaxing at home. I could do errands by myself. If I'm just by myself,
Yeah.
I can recharge. That's not to say I dislike being around people because it lowers like my battery or whatever. But there's
Yeah.
definitely a point where I'm just like, okay, I'm done hanging out with people.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go home.
I feel you.
And like, that's how I describe it to him, because he's always like, let's go hang out. And I'm like, I literally can't. Like, I just need time to like just be like, even if it's just us,
Yeah.
I feel way better than if it's like us and like, let's go hang out with people.
Yeah. No, I totally
And
agree.
like, that's why I treasure people that I can recharge with.
Yeah.
Cause like, not to say I can recharge with them like every single time we hang out, but people who I can just literally like, I don't have to say a word to them. We can just be in each other's company.
Yep.
Those are people I treasure.
Yeah.
Where like, I've had friends where I come over and they're like, dude, I'm tired. Let's watch a movie. And if they fall asleep, I'm like, good.
Yeah.
And like, that's okay with me, because that means they're comfortable enough to recharge in front of me too. Right. Like
Yeah.
that's like a
It's a
compliment.
compliment. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm okay with that. And my friends are so precious. So I'm like, sleep, baby. Just sleep, you angel.
The mom and you just covers them with
I know. I like get
blanket.
blankets. I like light
push
candles.
their hair back.
Play some soft like whale music.
Kiss them on the
Whoa.
forehead.
Do you need some tea?
Do you want a warm glass of milk?
I'm just going to sit here and watch Game of Thrones, okay?
That's the mom thing to do next.
Yeah. It was funny because I was watching Game of Thrones with my one friend when she did fall asleep. And she's seen she'd seen all the episodes and I was watching them already. So she fell asleep, and every once in a while it'd be like, oh my goodness, Joffrey. And I'd look over and she's asleep, and I'd just keep doing it. I'm like, oh, she's asleep. She can't hear my like bitter or hilarious comments that I make during shows. I'm like, oh, did you see? No, you didn't. You're asleep still. Right. Gotcha. Right. I'll just keep watching.
This is so great. Everyone's dying and there's blood everywhere. You're missing out.
Hashtag the Red Wedding.
Ooh.
Do you watch Game of Thrones?
No, because I know about the Red Wedding and I don't want
Okay,
to.
but like I know about it.
I can't
so.
emotionally let myself do that.
The saddest part was the part with the dire wolves,
Okay.
and that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I love dogs. I love dogs. I love the dire wolves, and it's super sad what happens to some of them. But whatever. Dogs.
They die, don't they?
Some of them do.
So sad.
Some of them live though, and some of them just like it's just cool. Dire wolves are awesome. Sweet.
If I knew what those were, I would probably agree with you.
They're wolves, but big
Sweet.
and dire.
That's funny. Yeah. No, I have the same battery life as you, except mine's a lot worse. I feel like, not that I'm trying to be worse, but
I feel like you're polar opposites though. Like when you need to recharge, like you need to completely like recharge. You need like a day and a
this
series.
Is the thing about anxiety.
Let's talk about you and me.
What did I say? Sex?
No, it's just I always associated that with like just learning about people and not really sex.
Oh, let's talk about anxiety.
Yeah,
let's
there you
talk
go.
about you and me.
Yeah.
Okay.
There, thank you for getting on this train. All aboard me being an awkward adult.
Yeah. So, after my battery's full when I'm in my room alone. My mom can be there also. And I'm usually binge watching like a TV show. But the thing is, if I'm watching a show like a 42-minute show, I'm going to say, like anything of that caliber, usually like anything from Fringe to Criminal Minds or Dexter, or even if it's serious, I'll say, if it's a drama, even if it's a comedy drama, because those things still will like deplete my battery.
Yeah,
because it's still like emotionally like
you need like a good like 20-minute rom-com.
So I need to watch a full season of like New Girl or The Mindy Project or How I Met Your Mother or Scrubs or anything. I watch everything. So but that's how so if I'm alone in my room doing that, my battery's full, but as soon as I walk out of my house, my battery starts emptying. So like there's always a certain time in the day, no matter what I've done, where my battery's just dead. If I work, like if I'll come to the office and work all day from like 9 a.m., then like at 3 o'clock or sometimes 2 o'clock, my battery will just be like done, and I'll just like hit the desk and I'm like, can't focus on anything else, have to go home and nap. So I always go home at like 4 or 5. I'll like nap, eat dinner, watch 2 episodes of something just to get my mind like cleared. Yeah. And then I'll come back and work for the night. But my battery just is constantly like it's in a constant state of being emptied. Yeah. It's exhausting. So after I
feel like you're polar opposites though, and here's why. It's like when you need to recharge, so you like shut yourself down or whatever. Yeah. So you can recharge. But when you're charged, I feel like you're like super.
I'm like the energy Betty.
Yeah. Yeah. I like, cause like
that's
here's
That's true.
Yeah. Here's some fun things about Julie. She can like do anything. She knows how to unicycle. People who know how to unicycle can do anything and should be feared.
Oh, I just laughed so hard I hit my head on the wall behind me. Yeah, I can unicycle, but that's just credit to my dad. Because when all y'all were learning how to ride a bike, we were learning how to unicycle.
Your dad had a mission. It was like,
He did.
make my kids have the most talents that nobody else will have.
Yeah, they have to have the most random array of talents. And
They
they
will-
have to know how to mow the lawn.
Play a minimum of 3 instruments.
Yeah, that's true. We did actually have to take music courses.
Yeah.
Yep, starting in grade 3 or 4.
So do all 3 of you know how to play like an array of instruments?
Not an array. All of us started with piano lessons from my aunt. And then from there, my sister always stuck with piano. So that's all she knows how to play. And I don't know how far she got. I think she only did it until grade 8. And then me and my brother, as soon as we could, like when we were in grade 4, the school system had a music program that we could sign up and learn how to play instruments. So my parents were always like encouraging that. So my brother took tuba. And then later on in life, he taught himself guitar and I think bass as well. I think that's it. And then he taught himself how to sing. I don't know if that's something you can teach yourself. But,
there's like,
because he started not that great, but then he like sang more and more and more, and he got better. So that's how he taught
Okay.
himself. I don't know.
like I get that though. Like I get it. There's technique involved.
Yeah.
It's not just like everybody's born a fabulous singer.
For sure.
I think that
That's
there's
for sure.
definitely technique involved. I had like 2 or 3 years of vocals in the high school, and like, but that was like chorus kind of vocals. Like it was very
Like in a ensemble.
yeah, there was like solos and stuff like that, but it was
Okay.
like technique, like breathing technique, how
Right.
like how you pronounce things.
Yeah.
Like it was like nitpick everything, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Just like reading music, like everything, right?
Yeah.
So, but that you can't like translate that exact technique to say like a Taylor Swift song. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like there's one like that's how you sing like very like proper
Yeah.
like more
Classical
classic,
stuff. Right,
more
yeah.
classic stuff. Not exactly your pop.
Not exactly shaking it off. Yeah. So I went from. Wait, did you ask me? Or why am I telling this? Oh, whatever. I'm already
I
in it.
said, do all 3 of you
Oh,
play
yeah.
an array of instruments? You went,
So
not an
then-
array. Your brother plays tuba and taught himself how to sing.
Yes, and then I do well, and we all started with piano, so we all have piano. And and then I went straight to flute after piano, and then I taught myself guitar when I was sick one week. And then
1 week? Who learns that in a week?
Well, like it's
You already
genetic.
had a background. You already had a background in music. I know, but it's like
yeah.
I got sick 1 week, so to like blow off steam, I learned an instrument.
Yep, that's what happened. I had to know
You know
how
what
to play.
other people did when they were sick? They watched Price is Right and cried.
Like I did that too in between, but I had to I had to know how to play Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer, because it's always been my all-time favorite song since I was in kindergarten, because I heard somebody in my family sing it at a family reunion, and I was just like, this is the song of my life. And I was probably 6 years old at the time, but I knew. But anyways, so I taught myself guitar. After that, I took saxophone for fun, because it turns out saxophone is just the flute, but a different angle.
A different
Like
angle.
fingering wise. Obviously, you do your mouth differently, but yeah. Saxophone, what did I do after that? Nothing. Did I learn anything
didn't-
else? Oh,
I
I mean
didn't-
piccolo, but that's the same as flute.
I didn't know you knew how to play the saxophone.
Yeah, man. So fun.
You could be a one-man band.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, and
kidding.
harmonica.
That's your dad.
When we were like little toddlers, my dad gave us all harmonicas and taught us how to play that too.
Sick.
Yep.
Your dad knows how to play everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does.
Yeah.
He loves it. He's the
Like
greatest.
that's like so impressive though, to be honest.
Yeah, but the thing I found out, because people are always like, oh, how do you do it, and how do you learn so fast, and how do you blah blah blah, but it's just genetic.
First off, you're born,
Yeah.
and then
Like
you're
it's just
taught
something
from
that we're born
birth.
with, so I can't even be like, I've never felt like proud as much as I should feel like, oh, this is a cool thing I can do because I'm talented, but I've never felt like proud of it, because it's just like, this is just how my family, it just runs in the family. Like we're just all good. Like my aunt is like super talented at the piano, and my dad can just like pick up an instrument and learn it, and pretty much.
I know your
could
mom
too,
does
so.
vocals. Does she do any instruments?
No, she tried to teach herself piano once, and like she kind of could, but she never had the like proper training or anything to like read and play music at the same time. So she didn't get very far, and then she just was like, nah, I'll just stick with singing. But she has a nice
Me.
voice. We're really good. she's actually the perfect person to live with because I'll like hear a cute song where there's like two adorably harmonious parts and I'll play it like 3 times, be like, Mom, hey, I'm gonna learn this on guitar right now and you're gonna sing it. And she'll be like, okay. And she'll just like go and like be cleaning the kitchen, I'll be in the living room playing, and like we'll just figure it out and then we'll put on a show for ourselves.
That's super cute. Your mom's super cute.
We're the cutest.
Yeah.
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 I can't even deny that. I'm like, yeah.
Well, I guess.
Yeah. It works. It works for me. She feeds me when I'm hungry and does my laundry.
Wow. I have to do my own laundry, but that's mostly, it's not like my mom doesn't do everybody else's. It's just I got tired of not having clothes.
Oh, yeah.
Not like she didn't wash it. It's just that like it wouldn't end up back with me. Like I'd put my laundry in the laundry hamper and I'd get like probably like 60% back to my room and like I wouldn't know where the rest of it went. And like my sister would be like, I don't know. My mom would be like, well, I'm pretty sure I washed it. My brother would be like, what are you talking about? And nobody would know. And I wouldn't find any of my clothes for like 2 or 3 weeks.
What?
And they'd be in like Vanessa's room, my sister. They'd be like in the hallway. They'd be downstairs. Some of it would still be in like the dryer or something. I don't know, man. But like I got sick of it. So I just do my own laundry now.
Yeah.
I just do like, I pick a day and I like I go down to the wire, right? Because it's such a pain to do your laundry, right?
Yes.
So I wait like 2 weeks when I'm like right down to the wire and I'm like, okay, I need to do laundry now.
Yeah.
And then I just spend 3 hours doing laundry and that's it.
I feel you. Yeah, my parents leave for a couple weeks every summer to go to the cottage, and then I'm in charge of everything, and it's just for myself, like laundry, dishes, lawn. But it's like the most stressful things. I'm like, I have to do all these things. But then like I get in this groove and I'm like, like Susie Homemaker or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And then
You're
I'm
like,
like,
"Look at
okay, I can
me."
do this. Look, I'm being an adult. But then as soon as you get me to sign a paper, I'll have an anxiety attack. Being an adult sucks. That's what I taught some of the kids tonight.
That being an adult is terrible.
I was like, just don't do it. Stop it. Don't be an adult. And the one was like, I actually really don't want to be. I'm scared. I'm like, yes, that's the correct feeling. And then I was like, wait, I should probably be encouraging them.
I think I know who you're talking about. Like I can just picture her saying that.
It was cute though.
That's okay. Earlier today I was like, who am I gonna pick to be a murderer?
They were like, why do we always play murderous games where we kill each other? Because we're playing like Wink Murder Mafia, the werewolf game. I'm like, cause that's real life, kids.
I was like, okay, who's good at being a detective? And like a few of them raised their hands. I'm like, okay, now who's good at murdering people? Who's got killer genes?
Oh my gosh. I hope they get our humor.
They're going to have to at this point.
If
Sorry,
not, they
parents
die.
who leave your kids with us.
Here's a fair warning.
I feel like we don't baby them very much though, is the thing.
We don't take any crap because we're like,
Eh.
this is your training for being an adult. This is the
Slash
beginning.
our training for being an adult.
Well, no, but I think that I'm harder on them than I actually am, because I think teachers all day are like pretty strict.
I don't know how teachers are all day. I don't remember my teachers being very strict in like elementary school or whatever.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I don't think we remember them being strict, but they were, because we listened and we were generally quiet and like we didn't.
Like we didn't just
And, like,
take them for granted.
So
And
this
I
is the
see
thing
how
where like it's mostly fun, the program that we run.
Yeah.
But like sometimes we're like, okay, we want to like have 5 minutes of silence just so we can explain the fun game we're gonna play.
Yeah.
And then I'll yell at them for talking, and then I like immediately feel guilty, so I give them like a friendly smile, and I'm like, I was just kidding, but seriously, be quiet.
Yeah.
And like I'll feel bad, but then I'm like, no, it's probably like not half as bad as like
When they're in school or
Yeah.
whatever, when their teachers literally have to be like, okay, seriously,
yeah,
shut up.
yeah.
And it's like, if you want to play fun games, like that's cool. We can play them together. But first you need to know how to play. And so many of them, I feel like they just don't want to, they're such sassy people.
Well, it's
so
the age gap, because
sassy.
half of them are like, why won't they stop talking? We just want to play this game. And then
Okay,
half of them are like,
That was how the program was last year, I feel like. But this year, I feel like they're more very the same wavelength.
well, I think splits between boys and girls, I feel like.
We have very few girls this year.
Yep.
In the younger group.
Yeah, that's true. And
So
and the
there's
girls are
nothing-
all in grade 8, except for the one.
No, there's 2 of them that just came in this year.
Who's the second one?
There's Lindsay and Kelly.
No, Kelly's in grade 7.
She came last year?
Yeah, man.
Yo, where have I been? Sorry, I guess I just saw her hanging out with Lindsay, so I just assumed that they came together.
Oh, they're probably just friends.
They're probably just best buddies. True that.
Yeah. But anyways.
So those of you who don't know, me and Julie work with kids.
If you haven't picked that up by now.
That's a good introduction. Explanation.
Yeah.
I'm going to be quiet.
You go in the corner and stop trying.
Goodbye.
Okay, I have were we on any train of thought? Because if not, because I feel like sometimes we get on a train of thought and then 20 minutes later we're like, so to conclude.
We were talking about instruments.
Oh yeah, I had listed them all though.
Yeah.
That I play at least. I have a piece of information, but I totally forgot what it was, so I'm just checking my computer because I saved it on here. Oh yeah, that's right. I read it on BBC again. Okay. BBC gets credit for this. This is another cool, like, worldly news flash. This is going to be fun. Okay, so Cambodia. We're talking about Cambodia today.
Okay.
This is where you always see those cool, like, ancient cities that are covered in, like, the roots of trees and stuff, and it looks really cool.
Do you know what? I never really thought about where they were. I always assume, like...
I'm sure they're in lots of places.
Yeah, no, I just forget that there's like a name to these countries and stuff. I'm always like, oh man, that place is sick. That
they're
undiscovered place. But then you always you find out where it is and you're like, wait, I've heard of that. It can't be there.
Yeah.
I can't think cool things can't be in countries I've heard about.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. And I like how they're like undiscovered places that technically used to be discovered for like hundreds of years, and then they just got covered by the battery died.
Oh,
sorry, the battery died on our camera. Sorry about that again, YouTube. This is an explanation for you. The problem was in the memory card. I googled it, and so I ordered a new memory card. And I get everything off of Amazon because everything's mad cheap there, and I'm not gonna waste my money just to get something instantly.
Plus, you can order it in your pajamas, which is
I don't have to leave the house, and my battery can stay charged. But anyway, so this one is just taking a little longer because it's coming from across Canada, and it's coming from BC. So it'll be here for next week's podcast, and I'm so sorry that we've had 3 in a row that haven't had full video. But it's a learning experience, and this is our first season of the podcast.
Will it matter when we're on podcast? Will it matter when we're on podcast number like 300? The answer is no.
Nope. You won't even remember, and half of the people will not have even probably watched this, to be honest, because they'll have just caught on later, unless you're like binge watching, in which case like tweet us if you're binge watching this. Tweet us. All right, Cambodian news. Deep in the Cambodian jungle lie the remains of a vast medieval city, which was hidden for centuries. Now, archaeological techniques are now revealing its secrets, including an elaborate network of temples and boulevards and sophisticated engineering. This is another cool thing. This is why I thought this would be cool, because in our first episode, we talked about Stonehenge and how they have all these instruments that are reading the ground and what's underneath it.
Yes.
And this is the same thing that they're doing here in Cambodia. So they have this huge temple. And I'll link this again in the Tumblr so that you can see it, because it's a lot cooler to see, and there's a video and everything that explains it. But basically they use these lasers again to figure out what's underneath, and there's this huge temple like surrounded by this big, I think it's a moat, and then around it is just like it's a metropolis of I don't even know. Does it say when? No, it doesn't say when. I don't know, a long time ago, whatever. It was in the jungle, and like it's covered in jungle now. I don't know. It's really cool. That's my news flash, and it'll be cooler when you read the article and look at the pictures, I promise. Because to explain it, it's not that cool, but
there's places covered in jungle. Who doesn't love that? You know what I love?
Like underneath the ground.
Underneath the ground are places, civilizations covered in jungle.
Yeah. Like, you know, in Lost, when they go to this... Did you watch Lost?
No, I didn't.
Okay, that's okay. For those of you who watch Lost, and I don't want this to be a Lost debate, because who cares? It's just a TV show. But remember when they were at the temples, and like that's when the one battle like started, and then also somebody drowned in the temple. Anyways, that's what it looks like when it's covered in jungle.
That's actually super cool. Have you ever seen like those big like picture sets of like abandoned amusement parks?
Oh yeah.
Those are so cool to me. I'm like,
Yes.
like that would be so fun to explore. Like super dangerous, but like so fun because you like, I don't know, anything that's like, oh, that's so cool. That's just so cool. There's like apparently abandoned like different parts of like Disneyland or whatever. There's like
in like the current one. That's cool.
Yeah, like I think they like closed it off or whatever and they just forgot about it.
That's so cool.
Like I think that's a
It's
thing,
like
but
like it's eerie and creepy, but it's also so intriguing.
Yeah,
like, and for
that's
no
the-
reason.
like I wouldn't go at night. I would go at like the day. Like, do I want to be murdered?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that always has intrigued me. There's a movie called Hannah without the H at the end. And it's just really interesting, but they end up having a huge like fight scene in an abandoned amusement park, and it's so cool just because it's so creepy. It just makes it really creepy. It's a really good movie. You should watch it.
It's like, I just love when amusement parks are abandoned and I get to see them. Or like, where was it? I want to say it was like Chernobyl where that nuclear meltdown happened.
Yeah.
And like
There's
it's completely abandoned now, right? But like it's apparently like the radiation levels are like so low that you can have like tours there now.
Oh,
But like it's only for like a few hours or whatever, but nobody's can live there or anything for
I would
like
still
a while.
not risk it. I'd be so
I know,
scared.
right? That'd be super weird, but like everything's like exactly as people left it, right? Because they just abandoned the city because it's covered in radiation, so everything's the exact same. Like people lived there and just bailed. And like that's so sweet to me.
Yeah.
Like that'd just be so sick to look at.
Because I think part of it is like this is what it would look like if the world was in a zombie apocalypse right now.
I also think like if somebody like this is like it just was totally abandoned, right? So in like 20 years or whatever, we could go back and be like, wow, this is exactly how life was
20 years ago.
like untouched. Well, it was more than it didn't happen like this year, but like
Yeah.
I'm saying like a significant time leap in the future, you can go back and be like, oh my goodness, like this is exactly how life was then, except it's like covered in radiation and dust. But that's so sweet to me. Like it's like a time capsule. That's what I mean. Like it's like a full blown city, like
a city time capsule.
It's a city time capsule. And that's sick.
Yeah.
That's sick. We should do that sometime, but without radiation.
Yeah.
And without people losing their homes.
We should just do that on purpose.
Yeah. We'll do a citywide time capsule on purpose. That'd be sweet.
There was a city in the States somewhere, and I'm not even going to try to remember because I have no clue. But it was a mining city, and then they mined something that ended up being a nuclear or chemical or something. They had to evacuate the city, and then that ended up being the city. Like it looks so creepy if you look it up in pictures. But they based the movie Silent Hill off of that. Yeah,
I haven't seen that movie yet, but I watched all of Hannibal, and now I want to.
Oh, why is that part of it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. No, wait, that's Silence of the Lambs, not Silent Hill.
Oh. So yeah,
too much silence.
So they based that movie off of it, and then that made it even creepier. It's and I think they filmed
like I did watch the Silent Hill movie, which was actually
really?
like, yeah.
Oh,
like I watched it, and that's it. It was like creepy, but like I wasn't terrified of things back then, so it was also kind of hilarious. And it was like I watched it in the day with my other two siblings.
That's the way to do it.
All we did was make fun of it, right?
Yeah.
So it's not scary if you completely like deconstruct it and like. So I haven't watched it since I was like, I don't know, like very young. Like I'm gonna say like 13 or something like that.
Whew, I wasn't even touching those movies back then.
I'm gonna say that's when I last watched it.
Okay.
Because I was in my old house. I remember that. And like it was just. I was fearless back then, except for bees. Bees always scared me. You've been knocking into that radiator this whole time.
Radiation. I'm too movie aroundy.
Oh, yeah.
I move around too much.
Yeah.
It's a better way of
You're a
putting
fidgety
it.
person.
I am.
I
think it's because I have such long limbs. They just have to move.
Is that why you associate yourself with Waluigi so much?
I'm really
finish the name for you to be like, wow.
I'm really excited for Halloween because we're going to be recording a podcast while we're in our Waluigi and
I forgot
whatever
about
costumes.
That. Yeah. Because we have Okay, other like blonde Lindsay still hasn't decided what character she wants to be, I don't think.
True that.
Victoria wants to be Toad though.
Oh, cute.
Yep. I think I'm gonna go Shy Guy.
Okay.
I think I am.
Feel ya?
Mike's gonna be
Yeah.
Mario.
Yeah, I think so.
I think like if Christopher keeps doing the Wednesday night thing, then he'll definitely have a competition with Mike then because
I think he should be Luigi.
yeah, that'd be super. Like
that would fit them.
they would look.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's
that's
done.
exactly.
That's
yeah.
what he's
Mhm.
being.
He's a Luigi now.
He's a Luigi.
Luigi
wiener.
#1. Vanessa always plays this Luigi. For real. I'm either Peach or Shy Guy.
Oh, yeah.
Or Rosalina if she's an unlockable character.
Waluigi or Birdo. But if those aren't available, Yoshi.
Birdo.
Birdo.
Who's Birdo?
Me? I love her. She's so cute.
Did you know Birdo? Isn't Birdo a boy?
No.
Yeah, Birdo's a boy.
She wears a red bow.
That doesn't mean anything.
No, Birdo is Yoshi's lover.
Yeah, I thought Birdo was a guy though.
No.
Google it right now. You have your laptop.
Yes,
I
I
dare
do.
you.
Fine, Googling it.
Fine.
Birdo's a woman.
We're settling this.
If it was a guy, she would be called Bird.
If she was a girl, she would be called Birdette or something. Why is her name even Birdo in the first place? It has nothing to do with Yoshi. Besides, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, she's 100% a girl.
Why? What's it saying?
Known in Japan as Catherine, is a fictional character in the Mario franchise. But look at the pictures of her. Like, she's winking her eyelashes. She has a giant bow on her head. She's sticking her butt out. She's taking selfies.
Look. Go down.
Yeah?
There.
Is this one?
No.
Oh, No, okay. Is that really what we want to base this off of? That doesn't seem like a...
Could be anything.
There's a question. This is just people theorizing about her.
Okay, click the Wikipedia. I was so certain of this. Well, not super certain, but I definitely heard a lot about this.
She's known in Japan as Catherine. Okay, wait. Enemy tomorrow in Super Mario's 2. In Super Mario Bros. 2, that's the first time she appeared. Huh. She has been a recurring character. Lately, she's good. She switched teams. Okay. Depicted in Mario Tennis, they depicted Birdo as and Yoshi as boyfriend and girlfriend. However, several games portray her as male. So, oh yeah. She's a transsexual video game character. This is what it's saying. Yeah. She started as in some games she's a woman and in some games she's a man.
Okay, so she's just gender fluid, that's all.
Okay.
We've learned a lot today.
Wow, that actually just blew my mind. Look, she's wearing a diamond ring in the Wikipedia article.
So, anybody can wear a diamond.
No, I'm saying it's gorgeous. I want it.
How many carats that girl?
That was like the size of her mouth hole. Like her mouth hole's huge.
My one friend just hates Birdo so much because of the sound she made. I don't know why, but she always plays as Toad in Mario Party games. Mm-hmm. And we put Birdo as like the computer in the games just to tick her off sometimes. So she went up to shower or something right before we started a game. So me and my one friend made Toad the computer and we made her the Birdo. So we switched them. So when she started playing, she thought that she was Toad.
Oh, that's the worst.
Because she didn't see us change the characters. She started playing and she was like, why isn't it going? Why isn't Birdo going? Why is it saying press A? And we're like, press A, Mariah.
Just do it.
Press A. And she's like, no. She literally got up and turned the Wii off. We're like, oh. It's not like we were far into the game. We kind of saw it coming too. Did it to ourselves, really, but it was well worth it. Hilarious.
Oh, no.
10 out of 10.
Would
Good
do again.
prank.
Oh, that's too funny.
Do it to all your friends. Just trade their everybody has a Mario character that they hate. Everybody does.
Yeah,
right?
share your favorite Mario Kart character with us in the comments.
And
my
then-
speech is running out for the day.
And yeah, share your least favorite Mario character. Who's your least favorite?
Oh, Baby Mario.
Baby Mario.
Baby Mario and Peach and Daisy. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry.
My favorites are Peach. Okay, not in order. Rosalina, Peach, and then Shy Guy. But they're all pretty close,
Rosalina.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Least favorite, Daisy, because she sounds so annoying.
She's the worst.
She's the worst.
Well, I mean, she's not the worst, but in my eyes.
Also, any of the baby characters. I don't
Yeah.
care. And Baby Peach and Mario Kart. What the heck? Like, why are
Ugh.
babies so good at driving?
I know. Baby Mario's such a jerk.
I know. Anyway,
Anyway,
we're very heated, as Mario does.
yeah. It brings up the emotions for me.
Destroys friendships, but I mean, or brings them closer together.
Yeah. All right. On that note, this friendship's still good. We haven't killed each other over Mario yet,
We're still a sailing.
but that's all we got for you this week. Yeah, I want to say come back next week for fun times and sweet stuff.
Fun times and high fives with Julie and Candace 20 After Podcast. Boop, 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 boop. We're good at harmonizing. Okay, bye.
Bye.